Hello friends, welcome back to the part 2 of yesterday's video where we use two techniques how to compare selected client sales with other clients. In this video, what I'm going to do is use the same data model, same measures and everything, but we're going to extend it further. What we are planning to do in this video is whatever the client we have selected, and we want to compare the sales of that client with the other top three clients. So what does the top three clients mean? We will have a what if parameter, top three, top four, or top five. So basically, if I have a 5 clients, whatever the client I selected, outside that client, I want to compare the top 5 clients. So there will be top 5 plus the one which we have selected, to 6 clients. So how, and also one more thing we are going to do is how we will able to sort our visual based on the what we selected is always the first one in the visual, and all rest remaining will be based on the based on their sales. So let's look into all this, and let's get to Power BI. So here, if you watch my part 1 video, I will put a link in the description of the part 1 video, but in this video we are going comparing our selected client with the top X client. So what we're going to do is, yesterday if you remember, we wrote this sales compare V2 measure which we used, and then we're using the slicer from our dimension table which is linked with the fact table, so that we can slice other visuals on the page, but the one with the comparison, it stays there as it is, so that does not change if we select a value in this particular slicer, but only highlight the data point that we're comparing against. Now in this video, as I said, what we're going to do is I want the highlighted to be the first one, so that it is always at the first, and then remaining top 5 or top 7 or top 3, depending on the what if parameter, they will show after the one which I have selected. So how we're going to do this? First and the foremost thing what we want to do here is we need to rank our sales. So let me show how we're going to do that. So let's first start writing a measure for the ranking, and we are only going to rank those clients which are outside the not selected clients. So if we, whatever is selected is always 0, and all the remaining clients are ranked based on their sales. So let's we call this measure rank clients. And first what we will do is, first we will find out what client is selected. So let's store it in a variable. So what that is, selected value from our client dimension client. So the reason why we're using client dimension, that's the one which we're using on the slicer. So basically I'm saying give me the selected client here, and then let's rank client. What we're doing here is we are saying, okay, if my selected client is equal to selected value of the client slicer client. Why we are saying client slicer client? Because that's the one we are using on the x-axis of our comparison visual. So I'm saying is whatever I selected in the slicer, if it is equal to whatever on the row context is, in this case in client slicer, then my rank will be 0, because that's always I want to be the first one. Outside that, I want to rank everything else. So what we're going to do is RANKX. So again, with what we're going to do is filter on our all clients from the slicer table. That again, the reason why I'm using the client slicer table here is because that's the one which we're looking on the x-axis. And then we're going to say here, give me this all client slicer. It also now includes the one which we have selected, so we need to put a condition here. So we're going to say is the client slicer client is not equal to the selected client, so don't rank that one. And what we are ranking based on, again, the measure which we wrote yesterday, sales compare V2, and descending and tens. Okay, so that's our measure, and then let's return rank client. So let's look this how it would look like in the visualization, just to understand what this is going to do. I'm going to replace because we are using, I'm going to replace client here from our client slicer table, because that's what we are using for in the visualization here. And of course some volume will be wrong, so we will use sales compare v2, that's the right one. Okay, so that's the sales. And now let's bring our rank clients. There is some error in here. I think this is going to be a 2 commas, because I will do a video on what does this value means. Okay, so now let's bring the rank clients here. All right, so let's take a look at this. So sorted by rank clients. So right now, let's say descending, because nothing is selected, so we are getting 1 2 3 4 5 6 based on their sales. Let's say I select C. So if I select C, my C is 0, as you can see, because we said whatever is selected is always 0, and remaining are 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I select F, and everything else is get sorted out, and then the rank clients, the one which is selected is always 0. So now this becomes very easy. So this is perfectly fine here. Now the two things we wanted to do is we want to do the what if parameter. So I already created a what if parameter, top n client, as you can see here, which is just a simple what if parameter 0 to 5, and I'm going to bring this as a slicer on the page, top n client, and just use it as in a slicer. All right, it's already a slicer. So what I want is to be, okay, now if I select how many top n I want to compare against, so that's what I want. So we need to further tweak, because now we need to filter this guy based on the top n client. What we have is, so we can create another measure here. What with that measure is going to do, so let's call it filter top n client. So that is going to be, if my rank clients is less than equal to top n client value, that's what is selected in what if parameter, then value is 1, otherwise 0. All right, so if I bring this new measure, filter top n client, here in the matrix visual as well, so let's move things here, and let's bring that to see how does that look like. So filter top n client here. Okay, so as you can see, I said top 3. So what I am getting here is, because my selected client is always 0, so it is less than equal to 3, so that's also the way we're getting the value 1, and the other top 3 are also getting the value 1, and the others are 0, which are outside top 3. If I make it to 4, so the one which is selected here is always 1, and the other top 4 are also 1, and then outside those are always 0. Let's see if it's like B here, the B is always 1, and then the other 4 are also part of the top 1. Now it is very easy. I can simply use this to visual level filter, but let's do it in our here. It's much easier. So we can apply on this visual, on our matrix visual, use filter top n client, filter on the visual is 1. Perfect, apply filter. All right, so now what we're seeing here is whatever, if we change our this to 2, so whatever the client we have selected B, it's always going to be there, and also the other top 3 clients, so 1 client depending on what we selected here. So now I'm comparing my selected client with the top 3 clients, so this is now more dynamic. Now one last thing in this thing, I want my client, whatever I have selected in the slicer, to be shown as the first one, and the other 2 at the back. So now, because this one is a selected one, even and the sales of this one is, because right now even if I sort it by my measure, which is select sales compare one, the problem is this one is right now, because it's a lower sale and it shows at the first. But if I pick the A here, which has the highest sales, and this will go at the back. Now I don't want this to be the last one. I want the one which I've selected is always the first one and the remaining at the back. So how we can do that? It's actually a technique. What you can do is my rank measure, which is rank clients. I put it on a tooltip, and once it is on the tooltip, now I can filter. Oh, sorry. Now I can sort my visual based on my tooltip measure as well. So what I can do here is sort axis. Then I can do rank clients, and now it's of course A to Z. The reason behind that is the zero, the one which we selected is always zero, and the most recent one after that, like in this case, we can see in the matrix visual, the D is the next highest sale, and that is ranked 1, and the C is the next highest sales is ranked 2. So now that's how A, D, C. So the one, even if I pick the one with the lowest sale, which is G, the G is always the first one, and even it has the lowest sale. But the A, which is the highest sales, now is a rank 1, and the D is rank 2 is showing after that. And if I go further on my what if parameter, this works as so. The selected client is always first, and the other ones are always at the after that. And now this looks amazing. Let me know what you guys think. So we did few things. We created rank, and then after creating the rank, the one which is selected, we always made that as the zero, as the first one, and we only ranked the one non-selected clients. And after we did that, we used the rank on our on the bar chart to sort, so that the selected client is always show at the front, and then the other ones are after that. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned few things out of it. Let me know what you guys think. Until next video, have a good day. Do subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.